स्वागत है आपका शॉर्ट हैंडियंस गॉट इट चैनल पर। वीडियोस अगर पसंद आ जाएं तो लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिएगा। लेटेस्ट डिक्टेशन और जॉब नोटिफिकेशंस को पाने के लिए बेल आइकन प्रेस कर दीजिएगा ताकि आपको टाइम पे आपकी डिक्टेशंस मिल सकें। थैंक यू सो मच। Ready? Start. The proposals were referred to the Central Advisory Board of Education, which asked one of its committees to examine them. Accordingly, it was recommended that the central government should contribute half the amount, while the provincial governments and the Indian states should contribute the balance. You are all aware that ever since the attainment of independence, the country has been passing through a period of difficulty. As you know, the financial difficulties still continue, and this is not certain when the government will be in a position to carry out its program in respect of the trust. Nevertheless, a beginning has been made, and an All India Conference on Art was held at Calcutta in August 1949, as a result of which an advisory body on art was set up. We have decided to hold the conferences on letters and on dance, drama, and music during the current year so that the advisory bodies for these subjects may also be set up without further delay. In the pursuance of this decision that we have met today, and I am hopeful that your deliberation will help us the attainment of our objectives. I am glad to find this array of non-official talent in this assembly, the more so as the importance of non-official initiative in the fields of culture cannot be overemphasized. If you look at the agenda, you will find that the first item for your consideration is a proposal for the establishment of an Indian Academy of Letters, which will coordinate literary activities in all the Indian languages. Coordinate is perhaps an unfortunate word, because all literary creation is an expression of the freedom of the spirit and does not lend itself to control an organization. What, however, an academy can do is to consider ways and means for the preparation and maintenance of an overall survey of literature in all the Indian languages, so that through greater knowledge of one another's efforts, literary men and women in all the languages can be spurred to greater activity and help in the creation of a literature which is comparable to that of the advanced languages of the world. So long as there was an alien government in the country, the people were suspicious of any governmental interference in the sphere of literature and culture. This was natural, for the people feared that such interference would have political implications. Today, with the establishment of a national government, there need be no such political fears, and some people, in fact, expect the government to be entirely responsible for the development of our languages. I would, however, like to state that even a national government cannot and should not be expected to develop literature and culture through official orders. The government should certainly help both by material assistance and by creating an atmosphere which is congenial to cultural activities, but the main work of the development of literature and culture must be the responsibility of individuals endowed with talent and genius. On behalf of the Indian National Commission and myself, I extend a very cordial welcome to Mr. Border, Director General of UNESCO, on the occasion of his first official visit to India. The welcome is greater as we have been expecting him since last year. Stop. Over.